Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Well, no bingo here, but I can sort the rack out with that man. And a vowel heavy rack. Bit of a chaotic start to proceedings today. The main ISC server is down. This is the backup server. And there are 3 players on the site. I challenged all of them. 2 of them turned me down. And fortunately, USD accepted. So delighted to have some opposition today. Now, opponent momentarily lost contact or quit, but has returned. I can sort this rack out with bow. Bone, the wine, isn't valid because it's capital B. Just checking in my mind these floaters in case I have a 5 vowel 8 bingo, but I'm not seeing one. So, there is a spot for bow above that man. But can I get value from the X? I could play AUNE, retaining the B for score, retaining a couple of bingo-y vowels, only 17 points. But if I play bow, I'm providing access to a triple word square. I'm placing a vowel under this triple letter square. And it's for fewer points. So what about playing bow here with an X, a silent X? 20 points, even better, and a better rack leave. I'm going with this. And there is a slightly hot Z spot, but it's only a double letter rather than a triple letter above the E because something OZ or AZ could play. So, how am I looking with this rack? Not great. I don't think there's a bingo here. Don't think there's going to be an 8. I've got N-cave as a 6. Nowhere obvious for that. Tux doesn't take anything. Vina is good. I could play that through the E of bow. If I played off 2 E's and a V, the rack leave of Cain would be reasonable. But I think the difficulty here is getting a decent score from those letters. V and A available for a 9-letter play. Not seeing one of those. And I'm not seeing an 8. Oh, wow. Look at that. Ungrade 61. Great bingo for opponents. Puts me on the back foot. Ooh, I thought I had vengeance for a moment, but I would need, well, a G and an N in the same row. I don't have that. Now, I do have N-cave through the N of ungrades. Do I have a double-double through this N? Don't think so. I've got the AGE ending, but I'm not seeing a bingo. I've got the un prefix. N-cave takes a D and an S, puts an E in the open, underneath a double word square, and racking. So why don't I go back to my earlier thought? Ooh, C-double-E, that's not great. I'd much rather play off EVE. Wow. I could play vegan. Same tiles as Vina. Fewer points. How much do I trail by? 37. Wow, what a tricky spot to be in. Not seeing anything through the B. I absolutely want to burn the V. So I could play Neve. 14 points, not massively below other scores. Neve takes an R and an S. My rack leave is good. An AGE word can still play, as can an ING. So how many points am I sacrificing? Vina was 24. I'm sacrificing 10 points to go from CEE to Kane. Wow. Tricky. I'm not sure that is worth 10 points. What about just doing veg? Keeping a decent 5-letter set. Not a fan of that either. What about 7? 16 points, keeping ace. I think this keeps the board open, which I'd like to do since I trail. And the N is a decent floater for both. For the N's on the board are a decent floater for these 3 letters in my rack leave. I'm going with this. Okay, so I have a Chinia. And through an A, that would play. There are 2 spellings of Achinia as a 7 and an 8. 29 for opponent. Is there anywhere for Achinia? Don't think so. I've got, wow, that is a shame. I've got IN for ING, but I'm not seeing a bingo. Do I have anything through an N? No. E. No. Oh, wow, that is disappointing. Having made an effort to keep the board wide open, I have an unplayable bingo on my rack. I think Achini Al is good as well. So what can I do about this? I trail by 50, a decent score for opponent. Ian is good. I don't have anything which goes after AD. Just looking at these floaters in ungrades in case I've overlooked a bingo. I'm not seeing one. And this is a tricky spot because this is a nice rack leave. I'm reluctant to wreck it. But I think I do need to keep scoring. I could play Ha here. Well, taking out floaters. I don't have an S for EHS. Am I missing something better? Am I missing a double-double through this N? Achinia stops 1 square short. No, not seeing it. Aha. Do I have this? Do I have the missing A right here? Let's find out. Yes, I do. Good grief. I would have been so galled to have not seen that. I think sometimes when you have a word with multiple, say, A's in this instance, you're sort of looking for a floating A that's in the middle. And it just took me a while to spot that sneaky little floating A. But there we go. I found it. And what a reward. Look at this rack. Absolutely fantastic. Surely I am bingoing here. Slightly vowel heavy. Duplicate I not great. 9-timer lane probably going to be taken. But a decent floater in the N of 7. Let me squiz through the alphabet and see if anything leaps to mind. And I'm keeping in mind the N in particular. Hopefully something comes to mind fairly soon. I think I spent a while on my last play. Well, nothing so far. Petition, I would need a T. Now, Pointier. Yes, and Poitrine. I have a playable bingo. Could be blocked. Let me just finish this exercise. I'm so pleased to have found Achinia. Crazy, I saw the word immediately and recognised its two alternative spellings and then spent an age finding that wide open A. Okay, so I have my bingo through the N. What about this A? 5 vowel 8, but there are 5 vowel 8s. There are over 500 of them. And AEIIO looks like quite a decent set. No, not seeing anything. What about the C? Wow, maybe this rack isn't as great as I thought. So at the moment, I've got only one bingo. Not seeing anything with an A, not seeing anything with a C. What about this N? Well, okay, great. Opponent has got a very humble score and saved me having to spend a while looking for bingos through the A or the C. I've got Poitrine, and I think that's going to be better than anything through U or N, because Poitrine is not going to be providing any bingo floaters, and this is better than Pointier because it provides fewer floaters. Well, this provides no floaters but takes an S hook, whereas Pointier provides 3 floaters. I'm going with this. Wow, pretty good. Through an N, which there were several, I would have frankers. Through a C, I would have frackers. Wow, look at this, 2 back-to-back bingos. And my lead, a miserable 50 points. That's not very many. Ah, but that's after opponents played. So, ooh, wow. I thought opponent may have provided something nice because FEH is good, RYA is good, but of course I want to then follow that with a vowel, which I can't do. I do have Kef, but what else is available? What goes after AD? Well, S does, but not much goes after double E. K does. But I can't get my F doubled, so the best I've got in this spot is Arcs for 33, burning the S. 16 minutes on my clock. Ooh, my rating is 0. I'm on the, as I mentioned earlier, I'm on the backup server because the main ISC is down. Maybe you have different ratings for the backup server and the main server. I don't know. So this is one possibility. Duplicate R isn't the worst thing in the world. 38 points, that's decent. This is a better rack leave. E goes well with R. 38 points, that is a decent score. I've got Freak on my rack. Interesting, that does play. How many blanks to come? 1. 34 points, similar score, unduplicating the R. Not providing masses. I am providing a bingo lane. However, there's already a bingo lane in row M, and I have an S. So is Freak in this spot the play? I think it is. ERRS wasn't fantastic, and Kef, well, I guess it allowed a 20-point play, so it wasn't super hot. Only 2 E's to come. I think that's determinative. I'm going with Kaf for 38. Oh, I was just glancing down at the R's. So this rack is pretty good apart from the triplicate R. Through an E, I would have reorders. Great, just 27 for opponent. Just looking to see if reorders slots alongside Poitrine to the left, and it doesn't. Very few floaters on the board, which is good since I lead. Now, this is a nice bingo lane, row B. A lot of tiles go underneath an O. Okay, so what to do here? I'd quite like to hang on to the E. Lots of O's, so I'd quite like to play off D-O-double-R. Where can I do that? Well, I can play here, keeping a really good three-letter set. Slightly dangerous row A, a big tile could land on this double-letter square, but I'm not creating a bingo lane. Only 10 points, which is wretched. So, why don't I play Rod? There's only 2 R's to come now. This is 19 points. And I do have a bingo rack, and row B may be the only playable spot for my bingo. I'm going with this. So I have Romas in row B and Remoras, and those both play in row M as well. Fantastic. So surely, well, not surely at all. I only lead by 8. The opponent could be about to bingo themselves to draw level, and then I will only be 1 bingo ahead. Now, column 1, also a bingo lane for bingos beginning with I. Not seeing one of those. Oh, I was just starting to wonder if there was a third bingo with Mareros. Not sure about that, but in letters blocked that. And what a welcome sight. Opponent turning over 5 bingo-y tiles. Well, opponent turning over 5 tiles, period. Also opponent turning over bingo-y tiles, and opponent only getting 19 points. The stars are aligned. Now, Roma's Mareros don't get doubled, which row B would have achieved. But I still get the points for Poitrines. Ooh. E. Well, the X has gone, so that's not massively dangerous. 73. Not great, but balanced in terms of vowels and consonants. Gloopy is good. That would be a nice way of turning over 6 tiles. Doty is good. Wow, that could be a hot spot. I don't have anything to go after Ope. So a Doty play would need to come down. How dangerous would... Well, I wouldn't want to play Yug because I don't want to retain 2 O's. Oh well, let's see what's available. O situation slightly less alarming. Let me count the remaining vowels. 9 out of 8 out of 24. Wow. Great, just 21 for opponent. I lead by 120. Do I have any Y blank I plays? Nope, I don't. Okay. Opponent's crushed that dream. What about a play? 11 minutes on my clock. What about a play through this I? yogi, but I don't have the fifth letter. I now have an O for going after ad and an L for going after E. I haven't seen anything, but let me put these in. Polo. That's quite nice. 29 points, very welcome sight. And although Guy looks a poor rack leave, at the end, towards the end of the game, I think this is quite a good rack leave. The Q is unplayed, so the U is good. The Y is a good scoring tile. And vowels, just in general, and the Y is a quasi-vowel, become more useful towards the end of the game. And I've just noted that there is a vowel shortage, so even more so. Plus, Polo is not creating any great lane for opponent, and I'm stopping opponent sticking the Z where my P is. Polo for 29. I draw the Z, of course, but no duplicates, and I've got a decent number of vowels. Opponent may be struggling. 40 points, nice play by opponent. 10 minutes on my clock. So, I've still got my Y for Doty. That may end up not being used because all the N's have gone. And not many Y vowel I plays regardless of the vowel. Now I've got ing for an ing play in column 15. I lead by 110. I'm not home and dry yet. I could do with a useful Z score. Do I have any Z something something I something plays? Oh, so close to Zayin if I had an N. Interesting, I could play that in column 15, taking out the bingo danger, getting the Z doubled. That might be the play. I have pies in column 1, 45 points, retaining scoring options. If opponent wants to get value from the Z, they'll have to burn a precious vowel. I'm retaining a G for ing, but I'm unlikely to bingo, keeping Y and U. So, is this the play? I'm not too worried about an E in first place for a bingo, given what's left. But I don't really like this. Why don't I like it? I don't know. So, this is the other alternative I was thinking about. Zayin, 27 points, keeping vowels. Taking out a bingo lane. There still is a bingo lane in row B. Just wondering if I've got an... Oh, I don't have an N. Now, ZE is good. Do I have a play through ZI? No, I am just going for the points. Pies for 45. Okay. I think if you're unsure over plays, then certainly in this position where you're nursing a 100-point lead, adding an extra 40, I don't think can be a bad play. Now I keep coming back to this Doty spot, but I'm just not seeing any YAI plays. So, what do I have? Not very much. Well, what I have is a fabulous lead. I do have Val, so I could play something like Al, scoring well, taking out row O. Great, look at this. Oh, magnificent stuff. Opponent plays View, possibly because they've got an S or a blank, but View also takes a Y. Fantastic, which I wouldn't have had if I'd played Zayin. So, 6 tiles left. Do I have a 5-letter play ending in Y? No. I've got Ghewley. Ooh, Q still unplayed. 6 minutes on my clock. Well, what about just doing gay? So 35 points, retaining a U and another vowel in case I draw the Q. Opponent probably didn't have the Q when they played view. 35 points is decent. I'm only going to get another 3 if I play off one more tile. I am going with this. Okay, so no Q, which is good. Remaining pool pretty horrible from opponent's perspective. Only one vowel and a blank. Well, it's possible there's a bingo through the I if the Q is in the bag. Now, could I have a bingo this rack plus an N? I've got the Asian ending. Fluation not good. Okay, opponent takes it out. 22 points for chin. I can see the remaining tiles. They don't have a bingo through this I. So, am I sure I don't have a bingo through I or N? Not through I. What about N? It could begin un or uni. In. I've got the full ending. No. Okay. I could play flaunt. I have an eye on going out in 2. That's the plan. 5 minutes on my clock. What does of score? 37 points. Yes. But can I then go out with this rack? Well, probably not. Well, unital, but that could be blocked, and I could really do with 2 outs, and it's difficult to achieve that with 5 tiles. Do I have a longer play? What goes between I and S that I've got? F does. T does. And O does. No. Oh, well, why didn't I play unital first? I play unital. I'm keeping OF, which can play next to the Z, but can also play top right. Yes, that seems like a plan. Oh, I've drawn a tile, and it's the blank. Poor opponent. For some reason, I hadn't registered that there was a tile in the bag. However, I'm surely going out with this. Foo is good, and oof. One of them will surely play foo and or. Oof and of. Now, opponent's only got 4 consonants, so I may be better off getting 37 points and going out in 2. There. So, where can my O play? Double O? OR? Yeah, just 14 for opponent. So let me, 3 minutes on my clock, plenty of time. Let me just squiz the board for the best O spot. OO for 2. Not a no. 4 points. Or 4 points. Or and 8 points. Do and no, fewer. Okay. Mower and out. 10 points. Okay, I'm going with this. Well, waiting to see if opponent challenges last move. Ooh, what's happened up here? Let me just scroll up so you can see. Oh, that was just the adjournment, so opponent is still available. Okay, so it hasn't come up with the usual end of term message. And well, a nice message from my opponent. Let me give him a better reply. And the final score, 329 for opponent, 513 for me, a winning margin of 84 points. So a huge win. Let's see what I missed. Okay. And it was me to go first. Why not? Oh no. I am not examining your game. Ah, maybe this functionality is only available on the main server. But how mean. Come on. Just try again. Nope, examiner is still not examining my game. Oh well. So it's possible that I played perfectly throughout, and indeed that opponent also played perfectly, and I still managed to triumph. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.